Welcome Dave Mattacks here at Drummers World on a very cold afternoon in December, and hopefully we'll get a little change in the weather shortly. Well, spring anyway. Spring we hope is soon. Dave, it's a pleasure to see you.
And great to be here.
I know a lot of people are curious about certain things you've done on recordings over the years. As an aspiring recording drummers, for example, what would you advise? What do you think about when you go into a record session now?
First and foremost, I'm thinking about the music I'm playing, predominantly with the kind of stuff that I do, predominantly the songs. That's the first thing I'm thinking about, is the songs. Then I'm thinking about trying to find something that's going to complement the song that I'm playing, and then I'm thinking about playing some time. I'm thinking about staying out of the way. Sometimes it's good to be intrusive, sometimes, most of the time, it's good not to be. Sometimes it's good to play simple, sometimes you need something a little more complex. The older I get, the less I play, I find. Someone asked me about technique the other day, and I was saying, well, maybe my chops aren't quite what they were when I was, I don't know, 25 years ago, but the editing's got a lot better. The editing, that's the thing that I like about getting old, is the editing gets better.
What not to play.
What not to play, yeah. Well, and what to play as well as what not to play, but mainly, yeah, editing and then time, and then I'm really concerned about the sound I'm making. That's for me a big part of it. Am I making high sounds, low sounds? Am I making kind of creamy sounds? Am I making hard edge sounds? Am I making stuff that really has to explode, or am I making stuff that's just going to sit in the track? Am I going to play nothing? Am I going to play, I think about all these things.
Do you think about your tuning differently in a recording situation than a live situation?
Yeah, but I'm also thinking about, sometimes you don't have the luck. In an ideal world, if I have the luxury of time, which happens less and less these days, I'm really concerned about trying to find maybe changing the snare, the kick, and the cymbal sound. The toms tend to stay the same, but sometimes, you might do the Ringo towel over the toms as well as over the snare drum, if that's appropriate for the song. Yeah, and then the difference between live and the studio is great. But as I say to some of my students, just talking about the studio, that there's, how long is a piece of string? Are you in a room the size of a small toilet with egg boxes and carpet, thick carpet, or are you in a great big space with very reflective walls? So the whole thing about tuning for the studio, it's more a case of tuning for the room that you're in, and then tuning for the song. In other words, if you're in a big echoey room and it's you, an upright player, and somebody playing an acoustic guitar, you're going to play and tune differently than if you're in the same room with a 13-piece band with a brass section and everybody's up to 11. So it really depends on, and then you're also going to play differently as well. Exactly. So the studio thing, you can break that down to so many different types of rooms. It's basically music first, and then acoustics, and then you start thinking about trying to play some decent time. In my case, I'm trying to.
Well,
just try and make it feel good.
Your experience proves that you are an expert, and
I'm learning, Barry. I'm learning. I know
we applaud you. We applaud you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that
advice.
That's
okay.
It's a pleasure having you.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Got him in, ladies and gentlemen.